Okay, we are on. Okay, our topic for today is about the moon. Uh, trying this. Suppose. Okay, we will talk about the moon. Uh, some general information about the moon, and here's one is the ethical consideration. I don't have a master's degree about the moon, and this is a free education which I got some research from my sources, books, and the net. This is not facilitated or panelists or having an advisor. So it's just a small research. Now the gaps and limitation, I got only a limited sources. The researcher concentrate on his personal practice. So what I believe, what I learned, does this not include the religion mainstream religion, so the big three. The researcher also, so I didn't include this, the moon about the space race. Space race means the Cold War era, which is uh, like the Sputnik and Apollo 13, those stuff. I didn't include this because we will talk mostly on the moon as in general, the moon. Now, according to NASA, Moon described it's the biggest and the brightest object in the night sky, and it was discovered by Galileo Galilei in 1610. Now, in Italian and Spanish, it's called Luna. In French, Lune. German, Mood. And it's Greek called Selene, which is also, they call it the goddess. So, Moon has a valley mountains. Also, there's crater holes. It travels around the Earth in oval form. The moon shines as it catches the light from the sun and reflect it to Earth. Moon do have darkish shadow. Some areas do not reflect sunlight. Now, Monday is considered to be Moon Day. It's in from history. Uh, it came from the Anglo-Saxon word Munang Tides. On this day, they paid homage to the goddess of the moon. So there are so many goddesses of the moon, which I will enumerate on our next topic. Now in Chinese, it's called Ye. Here's the sign. In Japanese, it's called Tsuki. It's similar. Now, both Chinese and Japanese they use moon Ye in months, like first month, second month. February they use Ye, what first month. Tsuki is similar to Japanese. Now in Spanish and Filipino it's called lunes. Same, there's a lune. Now lunes comes from the word moon, luna in Spanish. So Philippines and Spanish, they Filipino adopted the term lunes from the Spanish. Also, the Mexican use it. Now, there are phases of the moon. New moon is where the moon is invisible. It's also called, sometimes they call it the dark moon. Waxing phase is when the right rim of the moon slowly appears. Usually it shows 3 days after the new moon. Full moon is the perfectly round. Now, if you see this, this is a sign of a mostly in pagan religion or Wiccan religion. Now there is a ritual and belief in that waxing is time for invoking, so asking for positive energy, new stuff to have this and new jobs to apply. Now full moon is the time where the goddess is the strongest, so mostly time for healing, appreciating our lives, and the waning phase is good time for to leave, like example, quit a job, uh, quit, end a relationship, mostly on that time. Now there is full moon has its own name by months. January is called the wolf moon, and it said it's time to protect and strengthen as the wolf guarded and protect our home. This is mostly um, the belief of February is called the storm moon. This time, transformation and planning for the future. March is called the chas moon. This is also this is a plant moon, meaning the beginning. April seed moon. This is the time where sowing of seed, basically both spiritual sowing, both spiritual and physical. May, called the hare moon. Hare is associate with fertility. Romance, love is powerful in this full moon. June is called the lover moon, also known as the strawberry and rose moon, or strawberry moon or rose moon. This is a continuation of the hare moon. In other culture, this is called dyad moon. July is mid moon. This is the time for health, recharge, strength. Note to be note, mead is a traditional beverage in old European, mostly Vikings. In ancient times, the Vikings used this. Mead is also used in some rituals, and how they cheer, they shout skull. August Worth moon or Weir's moon. This is the moon where abundance, mostly in agriculture, celebrate the first harvest. September is the harvest moon, is also known as the barley. This is the time where grains being harvested. October is called the blood moon, also called the hunter's moon. The moon goal is to rest. This is the good time for divination and rest, mostly on spiritual practice. I will talk about divination in the future. November is called the snow moon. This is known to be the morning moon, another good time for meditation and divination. December is called the oak moon. Oak moon comes for healing. It's uh, also the times to finish off the work what we work hard of. Now, oak is in other tradition, they call it oak, and oak moon is also a religious, they call it the oak and holly and the oak. Now, my part two of this, we talk about the moon, will be the moon mythology. So I will talk about the literature, culture, mostly the stories of the moon, from Chinese story about the moon, Japanese, and our own Philippine mythology about the moon. I will only pick one what I did did have now. There are others, and I will talk about the more on the deities of the moon, Selene, uh, Artemis, those stuff. Now these are the reference I got. Now the future topics I will discuss is about conceptuality, story about birds, story about spiders, dolls, witches and witchcraft, magic, magic. Why these three words are have these words? Magic with a K, magic with a J. We call it monad model, which is the last time I used it on the cosplay theory, monad model. Story about dragons. What's a creation story, chess history, divination, and the subtopic of tarot. Okay, thank you for tuning in. So we'll we'll see you next week for the second topic of the moon. Thank you and study well.